Well, hello again. This is Mr. Nathan. Just going to do a quick tutorial for all of you beginner guitarists out there. I want to talk about how to have some more success playing your open chords on your guitar. I'm playing an acoustic here, and I teach a lot of beginner guitarists, and we typically start with these open chords, you know, like your G's, your E's, D's, C's, and those. And there's usually some challenges that I tend to see with all of my students in finding success with these chords that are really the building blocks of you playing the songs that you want to play. And for a lot of students, the challenge in terms of what they're focusing on tends to be with their fingertips. And while that is something you do want to think about, you want your fingertips to build up that callus so you can press down these steel strings and be able to fret correctly. What I find is something that I don't hear a lot about, which I see as the biggest game changer for you having success with your chords. And that really has to do with how you're holding the neck and the angle that you're fretting. So I'm going to talk a lot about that, and hopefully that will help you out and help kind of break maybe some of that plateau you're having or the lack of success with your chords. And if it's helpful, leave a comment. If you have questions, leave a comment. I'd be happy to help you out. So we're just going to start with a C chord. And the first thing I want you to do is I want you to hold the neck of the guitar in the palm of your hand. So we're not using our thumb back here to create a brace or support. You might do that with an ukulele or when you're playing kind of lead guitar type stuff. For guitar chords, for chords, you want to have that in the palm of your hand, kind of right in this little valley here between your thumb and your pointer finger. That's kind of the sweet spot. And your palm is going to create the brace. And what that's going to allow you to do is have all of this room here to move your fingers. And then once you have that, the second thing has to do with the angle. So for example, if I'm playing a C chord and I've gotten to where I can get all of those notes with that pressure, something you're working on building up the callus, first thing you want to do is hold it in your palm. But then the second thing, and I think this is maybe the most important thing, is the angle that these fingers are coming onto the fretboard. What a lot of my guitarists do is they have the palm right, they have the pressure right, but their fingers are flat. And I'm trying to create an angle here that you can look at that it's close to what you're seeing. But the palm's good, but the fingers are flat. But palm is good and the notes are being pressed down, so the callus is there. But here what we're going to hear if we don't have the angle right. That's that sound we all hate. That's that sound. And then we're good. And then that's that sound. And the reason is because my fingers are laying flat. So I'm going to create an angle, but I'm not going to move the fingertips. So palm is right. I'm going to move my forearm this way and curl my wrist. And all that's going to do is create space. So now I have the same contact, and hear the difference. I'm going to keep the same contact, bring my forearm back, and create less of that curl. And now listen. So it has everything to do with the angle. So again, you can have the palm right, which you should. You can have, I mean, look at that. You know, you've got that divot in your fingers because you're building that callus and pushing on these steel strings. And a lot of you're getting so tired of all that pressure and not having that success with the clear notes, but it had everything to do with the angles. Let's do another chord. Let's take an E major chord, okay? So you've got it in the palm of your hand. You've got all the right notes looking at your tab or your chord picture. And I've got all the pressure, but now I'm gonna move my fingers flat. So here's what maybe some of you are hearing. Now I'm just going to move my forearm this way, and I'm going to curl my wrist, keep it in here. Now again, your thumb doesn't have to stay wrapped. It can stay just where your hand naturally needs it to go, but keep your palm there, and now listen to the difference. Exactly what you were hoping to hear. Now again, I'm going to pull my forearm back, and I'm going to straighten out my wrist, keep the pressure. Now watch this. forearm forward, curl the wrist, and there. So what you're wanting to create is you're wanting to create this angle so that this front knuckle, I call it, which is not the official term. If you know the official term of this part of your finger, put that in the comments so I can use the correct term. But the front knuckle, I want that part of the finger to be straight onto the fretboard. So you don't want any of this reverse kind of indented angle. That's something a lot of my guitarists do. Don't do that. Make sure it's curling out and in. So your hand is going this way, but then those fingers are wrapping right around. And the way to do that is one, holding it in your palm, but then also moving your forearm out. So I'm moving my forearm out and curling my wrist. That allows the fingers to come right back and you get the clearance. So a lot of you are probably doing a lot right. You're holding it right, you're pressing down, and you're just punishing the tips of your fingers to create the callus, but it's the angle. That's the thing that I think a lot of you, if we can get the angle right, I think you guys are going to just explode in your progress with these chords and be able to get to these songs you've been wanting to play. And it really works with all the chords. So here's a D. I have it in my palm. I have all the fingers in the right place, but my fingers are flat. Now listen to this. And now I'm going to move my forearm out, curl my wrist, and there it is, okay? So that palm for these open chords, that's your friend, and then the angle is going to be the biggest thing. And then once you get to bar chords, you know, then it moves, right? So for a bar chord, look how that shifted. My thumb is really the brace, not my palm. I have all this space here because I need my thumb to help my pointer finger create that pressure that I can then have my bar chord sound, okay? And if you want to see a tutorial on how to find success with bar chords, leave a comment below and I'd be happy to make that tutorial for you. But I hope that helped. I want to see all my guitarists find success and play those songs, and those little tips, those little kind of hacks, you might say, really unlock a lot of their progress. So I hope this helped you, and practice it, try shifting those angles, and play those songs you love, and I'll see you next time. All right, bye.